we'll never get to the truth if we allow the people in power to continue, because we've had other stories just like this in our history. I've tried to document them on this show: John F. Kennedy, Abraham Lincoln, and the long history of the Jesuit order seems to be involved in all of them. Americans and the British, I know there's people in your country who've understood this, who've tried to tell people in the past. And I guess it's our only hope is that the little truth we leave behind will be picked up by the generations to come. But if you see how these people operate by changing history, by manipulating history, as the generations move forward, I believe we're in a period where less truth will be told, and it's up to people like you, other people who come on my show, to make sure that these stories continue so that others can listen to them. And in the generations to come, we basically may see a change, a understanding to a point where what we say on this show becomes mainstream, and what they say basically are the outcasts and the people who really have destroyed this world from the beginning to the end. I actually don't know how to put it otherwise. Go ahead.
The way I see it is this, that evil hates light, and as the sun rises or begins to rise, the shadows, that is the darkness, they throw very long shadows across our understanding. But as the sun rises higher in the sky, the shadows get smaller and smaller and smaller, and the truth itself finally prevails until it rises to its maximum height, and evil will disappear completely. And I honestly believe we are living on the edge of a time when we do have this insight. The reason we have these insights, this ability to see things, is simply because we're living in the right age to see them. And we must simply observe and be grateful for light coming into the world, and we must welcome this and always try to be a patron of throwing light on truth. I think
exactly, and I agree with you, and I think you said those words are very important, that we just, there's nothing special about us people here. We're all children of God, or children of God, and basically what you're saying basically is amplified in the Bible. And here's the way I look at it. We're just in a period of time to be fortunate, and I look at it as being fortunate to see the things that many in the past have not been allowed to see.
Yes.
And by that you open your heart to God, to truth, to what the Bible has to say. And maybe in a sense you can see all the suffering that these people have put on people in the past. And through our prayers we may be able to solve this, at least in the name of Christ and God, and to cast aside this evil in the Vatican, who I consider to be the most dangerous, because they use as their biggest shill. If you know how many shills they use, look at in your book the shills they've used in music. Look at the shills they use in government. Look at the shills they use in our financial world, in the media. But the biggest one of all is Jesus Christ, because they hide behind him and claim to be him, claim to be nothing more than the vicar of Christ. And they use him as the biggest shill of all. And I think when people start to understand that, their deception, the Jesuit deception, will fall like a house of cards.
Yes, absolutely. I do agree with this.
Now, we have 2 minutes. Let's not forget your book. Tell us about have you come to a title and where people can get this in the future? I'm sure you'll have a website and things. So tell us a little bit about how people can get a hold of you and see this book, because it's going to be out shortly. Go ahead.
I'm going to call the book The Manufacture of Mozart. The Manufacture of Mozart.
Okay.
Not the myth of Mozart, because that's very vague, but the manufacture of Mozart. And I'll examine many aspects of his life and work, etc., taking on board all the things we've spoken about, and presenting this to musicologists so that they can consider it themselves. and so it's very well documented, and hopefully it will be ready by September. And it's a long period now, a long gestation period for this book, but I'm now on the final road in. You know, I'm coming to the end, and so the condensed version is in interviews like this and other people, so that ordinary people can be aware that there are other views, other points of view on these important cultural and musical issues.
And, you know, I know the Jesuits right now, and their hierarchy is busy in creating this next war, and they have a lot on their table. But do me a favor and write a personal note to the Jesuit general and give him a copy of your book. He's at Borgo Santo Spirito Cinque in Rome. Do that for me.